We got a battle for the win here in Zandvoort, the Dutch Grand Prix here. Three-way battle between Lewis, Kimi, Antonelli, and Lando. Lando on fresh tires has already got back to Kimi as they round the final quarter, starting lap 53 of lap 72.
Looking in his mirrors, doesn't feel the need to defend.
Kimi defends Lando. Kimi went a little wide. Lando right on the back. Lando trying to get under. Kimi defends perfectly. Lewis now on the 27-lap hards is right in front of Kimi and Lando. Antonelli, Lando right behind him. This could be an opportunity up the hill to turn 5. Lando can't make the move.
Right up to the back of it. Norris is
and a lap car in front. It looks like the Cadillac of Valtteri, Lewis's former teammate at Mercedes.
He's going to be given overtake mode every time.
Antonelli holding off Lando. The gap between them 2/10. The lapper gets out of the way.
Gets out of the way nicely, coming in to turn 10. There is
through turn number 10. Lewis, Antonelli, then Lando, all in a line.
Antonelli
into the hairpin, the stadium section.
At risk here of losing what could be the effective Grand Prix victory, but the longer they fight,
Lewis a little bit wide on the exit of the hairpin. Turn 13. Antonelli right behind him, half a second's the gap. Lando right there with 3/10. Through the bank, turn 14, the final corner. Down the front straightaway. Lap 54 starts. Can Lando get by Antonelli? Antonelli looks to the inside of Lewis. Lando around the outside of Antonelli for second. Lando, as Lewis in front of him, he gets around Antonelli for second.
Norris through and up into
Lando into second. Can he get Lewis right now? He's right on the back of the Ferrari. Lando looking for a 2-for-1 special. Lando right on the back of Lewis. Lewis struggling. Lando can't quite get by him into turn 7. The sweeping right-hander.
I don't know, we saw a few there earlier on, didn't we?
In the turn 8, Lando right on the back of Lewis.
To quite get it done there, but making the
now through turn number 9, into turn 10. Lando trying to go to the outside. Antonelli now falling back. Lewis runs wide. Lewis runs wide. Lando to the outside for the lead. Lando takes the lead. Lando Norris leads the Dutch Grand Prix.
Norris takes the lead of the Dutch
and he is off to the races.
Finally,
Lando is ahead big time. Already up by a second. Oh, yellow flag. Yellow flag. Esteban Ocon's going slowly. Esteban Ocon's out of this race. Esteban Ocon has trouble. Antonelli gets by Lewis for second. Will this be a safety car?
Down at turn 1, yellow flag is out. It is Esteban.
Ocon is stopped. Esteban is stopped.
We should see
what happens here?
That's coming through here. What's happened to Esteban Ocon? And he's on the inside there.
There he is right there. There's going to have to be a safety car. Virtual safety car is out. Virtual safety car is out.
Time for Lando Norris, who got the move done crucially.
A virtual safety car has happened. Gabby is pitting. There's only 7 cars on the lead lap. Ocon is climbing out of the car. Esteban is okay.
Originally going to the end, this will allow him
the
to
car is broken down
under the virtual safety car,
and with this VSC, does Ferrari call Lewis in? As Lewis is on hard tires, he's not going to win the race if he stays out.
They don't pull Hamilton in this time around, Harry, because he should, in theory, come out in front of Leclerc.
Are you using me as a guinea pig, or what's going on? How long do you have me stay out?
Hamilton is not happy.
Lewis very frustrated right now.
They all slow down. They hit the delta.
He wants to pit. Box for Lewis Hamilton. Box. Lewis is going to pit.
Charles Leclerc here, and there could be fireworks.
Let's see.
Russell.
Lewis will come in. This could be huge for Lewis.
As in comes Lewis.
Lewis into the pits.
Half the time lost.
Into the box.
Under a virtual safety.
Charles Leclerc around the final corner. He's going to come in. It's a double stack for Ferrari.
Lock up on the front left as he comes in. This needs to be superb.
A double stack for Ferrari. Lewis gets a 3.1 pit stop. That's huge. Leclerc. Lewis is out. Leclerc at 3.3, not bad as well.
There's Oscar Piastri.
George will be
He's gonna
third.
To make use of this as both
And
Hamilton comes out in fourth. Charles
Leclerc's going to get out in front of Oscar, who also pits.
I'm going to come in for some new softs, a fresh set of softs going on. One soft for
So Oscar pits as well.
For Piastri and he's back out.
So Mercedes could be the ones vulnerable.
And Oscar will be in sixth.
With all of these cars behind deciding
Lawson
to double stack.
is seventh. He's the last car on the lead lap.
A long time ago that he stopped.
Oscar with used softs. He has 3-lap used softs on the car now. VSC still going. We're on lap 56 as the marshals try and recover the car of Esteban Ocon. They're going to lift it up high over the wall
one of many around this
as they try and pick it up on that crane.
Run, though, as the virtual safety car is out.
On board with Lando.
We're just going to get a look at how Lando Norris
This is his
was
pass
able
on
to take the
Antonelli.
lead of the Dutch Grand Prix. I mean, and look at this.
Antonelli goes to the inside. Lando, the outside line's open. He goes for it. He gets by Antonelli, tries to get by Lewis going to the 3. Lewis chops him off. And Lewis ran wide in turn 10 as a Mercedes is in the box. Kimi Antonelli's pitting.
To the soft tire.
Not surprised to see that.
Antonelli to the softs.
The virtual safety car. They've made good use of that.
And this was Antonelli, who
Who's
will
Kimi
feed
Antonelli?
out ahead,
And he will be ahead of Lewis. So Antonelli to third, George to second, Lando to first. The question is, can Kimi Antonelli, on his new soft tires, he got a slow stop, a 4.5-second stop, can he slow down or can he catch his teammate, pass him, and then catch Lando as well? This VSC has thrown this race completely upside down.
To see the cars coming up behind him, so of Antonelli, Hamilton, Leclerc, and Piastri.
So the gap between Lando and Antonelli is 16 seconds.
I think we need to take it. I'm a bit worried now. We'll check.
So Lando Norris.
I don't think so.
Is ending. So
Oh, here we go. VSC is ending.
To get a cheap pit stop if he was feeling the pressure to do so out there in front on the hard tire. But Antonelli.
And we're back under green. Green flag. We're back going.
To go onto that
Lando may have been caught out.
The end of the race.
15
20
laps.
laps to go, and now there's a 9 laps. So the
14 laps to go now. Lap 58 of 72.
With Norris versus Antonelli.
Here's Antonelli.
Let's head down to the pit wall with Bernie as we get this race back.
12 seconds the gap.
Yeah, it's just under interruptory when it actually starts, but very smart, I think, from Ferrari there. They boxed Hamilton. That was the right thing to do. They knew he would come out.
Pierre to the inside of Yuki. This is for 10th. A little tire bang in the turn 1. Pierre on the inside of Yuki. They're going to squeeze on the exit, and Pierre's going to get by. Pierre into the points, pushing his former teammate Yuki out of the points.
So with Antonelli, they've given up temporarily position to Russell in order to.
As there's Lewis trying to catch Kimi, but Kimi is gone. The gap's up to 2.5 between Kimi and Lewis.
Norris. So there's 3 fast cars, as we know, now coming through on these soft tires. But good strategy, I think, from the pit walls there of Ferrari and Mercedes reacting to that VSC.
Just think about we might give the team if Kimi got in the fight.
If Kimi's out of the fight, is that rather wishful thinking from George Russell?
Probably.
It sounds like the fight is very much on.
Antonelli is going to be in this race. George is not going to like when Antonelli catches up to him. The gap is up to 12 seconds between Lando and Kimi on lap 59 of 72. As Lando has a 7-second gap over George for the lead.
Your top 6 in this Grand Prix.
Yeah, so 12, I'll drop myself 12.5 laps to go for Antonelli to not only catch and pass his teammate George Russell, but then mount a potential.
So the gap on tires, Lando's on 11-lap hards, Kimi's on 5-lap softs.
All race long, how potent that tire offset
and
could
Lewis's
be.
softs
There's
were
Antonelli
10 laps, are 10 laps old now. So he's on used softs as well as Oscar. I believe Leclerc was on new softs. We get a replay of the pass for 10th between Pierre and Yuki into turn 1. Very close. Very tight racing. And Pierre gets the move done.
That's why we're excited to welcome Shell to C+, bringing fuel,
now back to Kimi.
car wash, and more to all the ways you can earn and redeem points, so you can make every route.
There's Lewis, 2.5 seconds behind Kimi now.
Kristen might bring one, and obviously I'm bringing one. I don't have boxes and boxes. Oh my God, Mom, what if she's a morning person?
Check off your list for less with back-to-class savings at Canadian Tire.
Kimi gets to the inside of the lapper. They look like a Cadillac. He gets by.
Party 101. Ingredient number 1. Invite friends. Pizza party on my plate.
There's Lewis.
Hey, you in? That, my friend, is how you feed good times.
The pizza dual deal.
Both Haas's out of the race, and Esteban and Ollie. And it looks like Lance has fallen out of the race as well for Aston Martin.
Burn and burning through another razor. Start shaving with Gillette.
So Aston Martin's struggles continue as we're on lap number 60.
So even your 30th shave is still smooth and comfortable. Gillette, official partner of the NHL. There's a Bell 5G.
Now Lewis trying to get around the lapper.
John signed up for his plan with AutoPay.
And the lap car gets out of the way. It's one of the Cadillacs. I believe it's Valtteri.
Cindy saves with plans for her whole family, including her daughter.
Kimi gaining by a second a lap on George. It's a second per lap, the distance that Kimi is catching his teammate. The gap is down to 3.9, the gap between George and Kimi. Kimi not catching George quickly enough to try and get to Lando. We're on lap 61.
Tudor, born to dare.
He's now 0.3 quicker per lap, despite the older tyre. I mean, hats off to McLaren. Whatever they've done in the car to get it to this position.
So Kimi
for the
through
final
the
stint
bank turn 3, rolling through turn 4
yesterday,
and
they
5.
really struggled for race pace compared to everyone else.
And now into turn 7.
Would also just like to highlight that currently Fernando Alonso is sitting in 9th.
Turn
in the
8.
Aston Martin, which would be 2 valuable points for
Kimi.
The Aston Martin driver.
3.5 seconds the gap. Kimi not bringing the gap down at all. George, 9 seconds behind Lando now.
Well done, Aston Martin. I know they might have benefited as well from that virtual safety car, but he's been there knocking on the door the whole time. We mentioned
George
earlier on,
rolling through the stadium section as well as Kimi. Kimi can now see his teammate at the end of the straightaway, at the end of the stadium section.
So well done to them.
Through the final quarter.
Even if they
coming to 10 laps to go.
I think it's been a remarkable race for
10 to go.
And for Aston Martin. Good to see. Now, what can Antonelli do?
George,
he's got that gap down
then
to
Kimi.
3 seconds to himself. And
3 seconds the gap.
9.5
so Kimi with a really strong lap there. It's down to 2.8.
A second, powered by AWS.
Kimi trying to catch George. Lando, look at his chops. Gap up to 13 seconds between Lando and Kimi. We got a yellow flag infringement noted for Liam. He's currently in 7th in the second Red Bull seat, leading the Red Bull charge today as Max crashed on lap 1. Obviously, Isaac Hadjar not in the race because he got hurt.
And it's not Max Verstappen who is out of his home Grand Prix. And his last home Grand Prix for the foreseeable was Zandvoort, set to fall off the calendar next year.
I think Russell, unfortunately, he can't afford to waste any time.
George,
he needs
7 lap older hards than Lando, 13 lap older tires than Kimi.
Which inevitably he will in just a couple of laps, right behind
10
him.
seconds between Lando and George for the lead of this race. We have 9 laps remaining as we look at Toto Wolff looking on in the garage.
Could be some crucial decision-making for Toto Wolff in a few moments' time. Maybe not decision-making, that may well be done on the track and take care of itself. But
Lando,
the championship
George,
reignited.
Kimi behind by 2 seconds on George as they did move Ocon's car over the wall. So Esteban's car, where it was stopped, it's on the other side of that wall in turn 3. 2 seconds the gap between George and Kimi. Kimi is not gaining quickly enough that he needs to try and get back to Lando and win this race. He has to get by George. If he can get by George here relatively quickly, he might have a small chance at getting to Lando.
So impressed with the job, but just to mirror what Karun was saying and Bernie on the pit wall, Norris is absolutely flying out there, and he's kept the gap.
Final corner for Lando as we see an onboard of him on a split screen. Lando down the front straightaway, starts lap 64. Got 8 laps remaining in the race.
Getting on with it. He's been
Kimi is still over half a second faster than George.
Absolutely dominant.
1.8 seconds the gap.
Again here, he loves this type of track, and he's really beginning to understand how
Lando
these
rolls through
cars
turn
want to
number
be
3.
driven.
Yeah, Lando Norris.
He currently sits as the driver of the day.
A brilliant race so far.
In turn 7 for Lando.
Before the race today.
As we look at P9, Fernando Alonso is in 9th for Aston Martin. What a run he is having so far. But he's got 8 laps to finish it, and he's got Pierre closing in under a second, the gap between 9th and 10th. As Yuki has fallen way behind Pierre. The gap now between Pierre and Yuki, 4 seconds, as Gabby looking at Arvid Lindblad for 12th.
Norris has really turned things around. And I don't think he was expecting.
And we ride on board with Kimi. The gap, 12.5 seconds between him and Lando. As Gabby on the split screen in turn 3 gets a little sideways trying to chase down Lindblad. Into the stadium section for George and Kimi.
Last 5 races, just showing how quickly things can turn on their head in this new generation.
Lap 65. 7 laps remaining.
Of Formula 1.
12 seconds the gap.
And
Valtteri will retire the car. They're going to box, and he will retire.
Still 1 Cadillac in this race.
So he'll be finishing in 18th. Checo is 17.
Joins Ocon,
in their first season in Formula 1.
Out of this Grand Prix, Verstappen, who had a big crash.
Lando in the lead. Kimi now under a second between him and George. There's still 7 laps to go. Plenty of time for Kimi to catch George. The question is, can we see lap times compared to Lando and Kimi? Here's George.
We'll invert cars this lap. Since turn 1.
So there's the call.
So there it is. Team games. George will let Kimi through.
And you can understand soft tyre versus hard tyre. George running a different strategy on much older tyres.
It's just the way the cookie crumbles, unfortunately. I think
Is he fighting for the win?
I thought he might fight it.
Planning to cope Norris?
I did expect him to fight it, and I'm a little bit surprised in that I think he's doing a fairly decent job here. I mean, it's not like Kimi's. It doesn't look inevitable.
Kimi should get by George right here. George should let him by. I don't think he is. I don't think he's letting him by. Oh, yes, he is. Into turn 1. George moves out of the way of Kimi. Kimi into second. George to third. Lewis now has a chance to get a podium.
And now he is released. Ahead of his
the gap is 11 seconds.
11.5 seconds.
Can Kimi get to Lando? 6 laps. Can Kimi gain 11 seconds?
Thank you. I know. Head down. Yeah, we've lost the double podium here, mate.
George Russell saying we've lost the double podium here.
George saying we've lost the double podium.
Because once Antonelli is now
Lewis is right there. The gap's under a second. And Lewis is doing the same times that Kimi is doing. Lewis could be in play here.
Yeah, so Antonelli has brought it down to, 11 seconds now.
Gap's now under 11 seconds, but now it stabilizes at 11 for a quick second. Into the stadium section, Lewis now trying to get by George.
And that wasn't enough. So to answer George's question, is he fighting for the win?
Fernando did not pin.
No, he's not.
To gain track position.
Now, just getting a nice bit of insight there from Alonso there, who is up there. He's still yet to pit, using that virtual safety car to his advantage. As we ride on board with Lewis, Hamilton closes up.
Looks like some smoke over there in turn 1. There's a car that's wide. There's a car in the gravel. And there's damage. There was damage on that car that went by.
And the 2 Williams, as they make their
There's an Aston Martin going by.
The Williams of Carlos Sainz. So the one that looked like it went off was Alex Albon. Don't know if anything untoward has gone on there between the Williams pair. They're not split by much, just a second or so down.
And Albon has gotten back by Carlos for 15.
Lap 67 of 72.
So Albon gets 15 as Lewis is now on the back of George. This is for third. Battle for the podium.
Into the left-hander of turn
Lando, 11 and a half seconds now on Kimi. The gap has stabilized in Lando's favor. It looks like Kimi does not have the pace to catch him.
Across this circuit, over 8 meters of elevation change across the over 4.2 kilometer track.
Lewis hanging on, trying to get by George for a podium, trying to limit the damage.
Double podium or potential double podium in helping
a big second place result in the championship for Kimi.
Overtake mode, but he's disappeared off into the distance.
Lewis trying to get George. Deep on the brakes, Lewis in the turn one, looking up the inside, can't quite get next to George.
Yeah, through turn one, carving his way.
Through turn number 2, now into the bank left-hander, turn 3. 10-second time penalty for Franco. He's in 14th as Carlos is in the pits. A yellow flag infringement for Franco.
The Alpine driver would have got to his teammate Gasly, clinging on to 10th place and actually hounding Fernando Alonso for 9th spot.
Into turn number 8.
Upgraded Alpine, only Alpine with the upgrades though. Right.
Lewis trying to get by George.
Final step on the podium.
The battle for the win seems to be finished.
But does he know that he's fighting a
big slide out of turn 10 for Lewis as we ride on board the ICAM into the stadium section.
On board from the cockpit.
It looks good through turn 11 and 12.
Through 11 and 12, Lewis, he might have a chance here in the turn 1. As we get some words from Kimi.
With his car. Feels like the aero is drifting away, but the team can't see.
Kimi says there's something wrong with the car, aero degradation, and the team does not think that. Lewis to the inside, into turn 1 for third. Lewis late on the brakes. George gets the drive off to keep third. Liam Lawson's under investigation. Into turn 3. Lewis staying with George. George now with a bigger gap.
Desperately fight for
got a slippery surface on this part of the racetrack.
But all this debris on the circuit before turn 7, you can just see that
turn 7.
Yellow and red flag just signifying
George,
that there is that debris and
then Lewis. Turn 8. Now turn 9 as Albon will pit as well.
Like maybe some bodywork damage still from the Williams.
Lewis hanging on, trying to catch. Right around the outside of George. He may get him right here on the straightaway into turn number 11. Lewis may try. George defends the inside. Lewis has to go on the outside into turn 11. They nearly make contact. Lewis trying to cross him over. George hangs on for now. This has brought Leclerc into the fight. Charles Leclerc is here.
For a podium. Haven't been on the podium since the British.
Final corner. George and Lewis. Virtual safety car. Virtual safety car.
Virtual safety car is out.
3 laps to go and there's a VSC.
You spotted that, I wonder, as Albon comes into the pits, as the 2 Ferraris head down into turn 1. Virtual safety car,
and there's a ton of debris in the middle of turns 5 and 6, and the marshals are going to go get them. Time penalty for Liam Lawson. 10-second time penalty for Liam, a yellow flag infringement. He should finish 7th. Here's what happened here between the Williams. It's Carlos locking up and colliding into his teammate, and they both go off track. Albon with front wing damage. Williams on Williams crime. This is not going to be a fun team meeting tomorrow morning for Williams.
For at least another year in the case of Carlos.
And the VSC is ending.
Multi-years for Alex Albon and multi-years for Carlos.
The VSC is ending.
Last couple of laps then coming at you here at the Dutch
George
Grand Prix. Virtual safety
and Lewis with Leclerc. The fight for third is back underway with 3 laps to go.
14.8 second lead.
Yeah, that's not the race now, is it? I think the first 2 positions are set in stone unless anything really untoward happens and bad luck strikes. This is the race, though, for that final
2 laps to go upcoming. Lando is across the line. 2 to go for the battle for third.
Hamilton to get through.
The gap, 0.7 of a second between George and Lando, or George and Lewis.
On the attack again.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc is within a second of his teammate.
If he can, they've dropped Oscar Piastri, who's racing so promising at one point. not to be. 6th place looks nailed on for the Australian. Meanwhile, Liam Lawson,
George,
you would have seen
Lewis
into
turn 3. Lewis is now back on the back of George as he gets a big moment on the exit of 3.
We'll see once he crosses the line.
Down this sweeping straightaway, 4, 5, and 6. Into the downhill right-hander, turn 7.
This penultimate lap, while Lando Norris romps away.
2 laps to go.
Could be back-to-back.
The Williams contact is under investigation.
Kimi Antonelli.
Lewis on the back of George. He's clearly faster in turn 9. Can he make the move in the turn 10? Lewis around the outside. George cuts him off. Turn 11. Lewis sideways on the exit of 10. Trying to get to George here into the entrance of 11 and 12. George will hang on for now. Time penalty for Carlos. You can see that coming for the crash with Albon.
He's slowing it down, Harry, to get a bit more energy into his battery. And that's going to
on board with Leclerc as we're on the final lap of the Dutch Grand Prix. Lando, then Antonelli. Thank you, Zandvoort. This is the final lap of the foreseeable future here in the Dutch Grand Prix. Lewis looked to the inside of turn 1, can't get by. George hangs on. Lewis right on the back. Through turn 2, George cuts him off. Turn 3, three-way fight. This is for the final spot on the podium.
The most vulnerable point on the track.
George gets through. 4, 5, and 6. Leclerc may get Lewis here on this final lap. Leclerc on the back of Lewis. Lewis cuts off Leclerc. Leclerc went for it to the 7.
On the final lap of the Dutch Grand Prix.
In the turn 8. Leclerc does not have a chance. Lewis doesn't have a chance. George should be on the final step of the podium.
Cannot give him the fight, but the final position.
But meanwhile, at the front of the Dutch Grand Prix, it's Lando Norris looking for a second straight win. George ahead of Lewis and Leclerc. Lando Norris to the line. He wins the Dutch Grand Prix, his second race victory in a row. Kimi Antonelli, the championship leader, will extend his advantage into second. But for third, George Russell's going to hang off the Ferraris. George Russell hangs on. It's a double podium for Mercedes. Lewis 4th, Leclerc 5th. Oscar will be 6th and Liam gets 7th.
Hamilton only just ahead of a charging Charles Leclerc as we have the checkered flag and the last dance of the Dutch.
As here's Checo, he's ahead of both Williams.
It was as well, action-packed from start to finish. Well, even before.
And there's Lindblad and Gabby still fighting. That's for 12th.
The midfield battle continues as well, Harry.
Lawson will cross the line.
Nico 8th, Fernando 9th, Pierre gets 10th. That rounds up the points. 2 points for Aston. Yuki can't get points. He's 11th. And Arvid Lindblad will be 12th, getting ahead of Gabby with Franco 14th, Checo 15th, Carlos 16th. And everyone else won't finish. Albon, Valtteri, Esteban, Lance, Ollie, and Max don't finish. But the race winner today is Lando Norris.
Is your race winner.
Very well done. Gorgeous. Well done. Well executed. Well executed. Good strategy. Won me the race today. So thank you guys. Woo. Another one. Well done. Thank you everyone. Just keep pushing. Not easy enough. Thank you for the hard work. Let's keep bringing upgrades. Let's keep bringing performance, please. The fight's still on. Let's keep going.
The fight is still on, but Lando Norris has found his stride after the summer break. It's career victory number 13 for the reigning world champion. And it may not be the orange that the grandstands wanted, but they will rise for one final time here in Zandvoort. The Orange Army salute all of our drivers.
This is the last time for now at the Dutch Grand Prix.
That's P2. Not the race you could have had, but that is not a bad result. So George managed to hang on for P3 there, so great drive from him as well.
Yeah, great job, but on strategy, that was too risky. I think it was a bit too risky for both of us.
So the top strategist once told me that the fastest strategy, or the best strategy, is to have the fastest car, and I think that's what Lando Norris had, but only just. I think the McLaren was only just faster. I said it last time out in Budapest. I'm going to say it again here, Harry. I think the best driver won today on this track, and he's really understanding how to get the maximum out of this new rule set in Formula One. Well done,
Lando
Lando
Norris puts the
drive
steering wheel on the nose of the car, and he's going to climb out a winner of the Dutch Grand Prix, Lando Norris. The winner of the Dutch Grand Prix, his second race win in a row.
Well, as he just about stumbles outside onto his cockpit, and the cheers from the grandstands, which is great to see. But for Lando Norris, it is 2 wins in a row, 2 in a row for McLaren now. And the second half of this season suddenly has a very different feel to it.
He was absolutely right. Championship leader you're looking at now, this is far from over.
There's Kimi
59
in second.
Points. Kimi Antonelli's gap
He extends his championship lead to 59.
Moves up into second in the drivers'
and George moves up to
Lewis
second in the drivers' championship by beating Lewis.
Lando Norris makes big gains with those 25 points and is awarded Salesforce Driver of the Day. Pole position to race victory. On paper, Ant, was simple. Yeah. It was easy.
On paper, that's one thing, but what a drive, what a race today. It's action up and down. Here's one
Charles
of the stars
Leclerc
of the day
with fastest lap of the race, a lap 60.
Lap award goes to Charles Leclerc. And you do wonder what Ferrari could have done if they had qualified better. George Russell, formidable in his defence at the end there. Cracking job by him. But well done, Lando Norris.
Just crunching some numbers. 83 points is the gap between championship leader Kimi Antonelli and Lando Norris.
83, that's the gap between Kimi and Lando in fourth.
That a year ago,
top speed of the race, Pierre, 219 miles per hour.
Points back from the championship leaders, Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris.
He knows. Of all people, he knows what can be done towards the tail end of a championship year.
As looked like he certainly worked hard for that one, did Lando Norris. But it's going to come thick and fast now as we get into the second half of the season. The Dutch Grand Prix putting on a brilliant show for us as it bids farewell. We weren't sure exactly how it was going to go. We'll have Kimi's home race next up in Monza, where we're expecting him to take a penalty for power unit changes.
Oh.
It's a track maybe where you could do more conventional overtaking, but it's a big pivot in the championship charge.
It really is, and but nobody's immune to this, Harry, this year. In the year one of a brand new rule set, new regulations in Formula One, so nobody's completely immune. It's hit Mercedes pretty hard early on this championship. They're going to pay the price in Monza potentially with a brand new internal combustion engine coming Antonelli's way, but it's certainly a slightly easier track to overtake on than here, but
Lando debriefing with the team.
That was not the Grand Prix.
The fans have not left their seat.
I'm very pleased about that. That was thoroughly enjoyable.
Soaking in the final moments of Zandvoort.
Tooth and nail, but I tell you what, Zandvoort certainly.
And here are the post-race interviews hosted by a former F1 driver, Julian Palmer.
Down here with the top three from the race. What a performance, Lando Norris. So it's the last race here in Zandvoort. They've all been won from pole, but my word, you really had to work for that one. What a job.
Yeah, amazing. A tough race. I think yesterday I said need to put on a bit of a show for everyone for the final race here. So yeah, I made it tough for myself today. But a good race, well fought. Probably one of my better wins. We had to fight for it well, but the pace was very strong and managed things incredibly well today. So over the moon, very, very happy, and nice to win the final race here in Zandvoort.
Yeah, such great work. All of the drama at the start, the restart. Obviously, you lost the lead to Kimi, but talk us through the overtake because that was brilliant.
Yeah, the move was good. I mean, I knew I was not going to get many chances. Every lap I spent behind him, my odds were getting lower and lower. So I saw Lewis defended, and I knew that was my moment. I did a couple clicks of brake balance. I knew I was going to commit to the braking, and that move won me the race. So, just well played from high part. I knew I had to make it. I probably had one chance to really make it happen, and I made the most of it. So, yeah, another win here. Very, very happy.
Superb. Well done, Lando. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. Kimi, championship leader, you put on a show there. not quite to be in the end. You were talking about a little bit of aero degradation. You felt like the car went away from you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a very intense race, and managed to get the lead. And stint 1, I felt actually okay, but then from stint 2 onwards, just didn't have the feeling with the car. I was sliding a lot overall, and yeah, at the end, Lando passed me, and I knew I had no chance after that. But then, of course, George was was a great team player, and really happy for him to have held on to P3 as well.
And still great points. I mean, it doesn't feel like that long ago we were talking about your starts being really difficult, but we had 2 of them here today, and both times you moved forward. So things are looking good on that front.
Yeah, definitely on that regard. We've done a tremendous job and improved a lot, and today paid off. So really happy with that. And but of course, now as a team, we need to find a little bit of time because McLaren have done a huge step. So yeah, we gotta keep pushing.
Well done, Kimi. The championship league
Thank you so much.
stretches out. George, I mean, it's been a good weekend for you. Still started on the front row. You had a sprint win. You're back on the podium. The start was difficult. The end was tense. But talk us through the battle with Lewis to start off with.
Yeah, it was a difficult start for me, obviously losing the position. And these 2 were very quick at the beginning. And Lando was just exceptionally fast towards the end of the race. So it was tough to hold on those old tyres. Happy to be standing here on the podium because it was could have gone either way.
And you weren't very happy with the team late on. We heard you trying to get a little bit of team orders to stay ahead of Kimi, I guess, to help the defence. In the end, the team might feel exonerated because your defence was superb. It looked like the tyres were going away, but you just positioned the car exactly where you needed to be.
Yeah, I mean, Kimi was ahead of me anyway, so he deserved to finish ahead. And of course, when you're in the race, you want to fight for every single position. But with the pace, with the new tyre, we would have overtaken anyway. So it was the right decision, and it was, as I said, just happy to be standing on the podium. It's been a little while for me. It's been a strong weekend overall, so I'll take the positives.
Yeah, well done, George. It's been a good weekend. You're right.
Thank you, everybody.
So, Lando, if I can interrupt you two for just a moment, what a weekend it's been. Back-to-back race wins for you. Upgrades working. Championship lead just sniffing down. Are you thinking at all that this might be on for the big Max Verstappen-esque comeback?
I mean, it sounds boring, but one race at a time. I know a lot of people say it now, but it's the truth of it. There's no point thinking that far ahead. I need to concentrate now on having a nice little break. Obviously, two great weekends, but yeah, we just need to reset, to learn as much as we can. I think there's still plenty of things we can do better, and we need to do better if we want to fight for a championship. So I'm very pleased with the team. I'm pleased with how much work everyone's doing, and so happy that I can deliver it for them and bring 2 wins in a row. But it's harder than I would like, and I want a bigger gap. So we have to keep working hard. There's still plenty of races, plenty of opportunity for everyone. So keep my head down, keep working, and they'll keep coming.
Well done. Thank you, all 3 of you. Go and enjoy some celebrations. And thanks to everybody here. Thanks to Zandvoort for putting on an absolutely wonderful show.
One final time at Zandvoort. That's all. Lando Norris wins the Dutch Grand Prix, the final one at Zandvoort. He holds off Kimi Antonelli, and George Russell hangs on for a third place finish and getting up to second in the Drivers' Championship. Lando Norris, the winner of the final race at Zandvoort. Thank you, Zandvoort, for putting on such great Dutch Grand Prix throughout your time on the F1 schedule. Thank you all for watching. See y'all later. RV out, peace. Lando trying to gain and get back in the championship fight. The fight is down to 83 points, and Lando, he is definitely capable of getting the win. That's all.
For the reigning world champion.
See you soon, Zandvoort. Hopefully.
Team principal, smiling
again,
with that one.
thank you all for watching. See you later.
Peace. For the pit wall to navigate.